Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH Rebirth of Emperor Yang episode number 69 based on novel. So let's start. Xiao Yan's appearance once again made the whole auction house boiling. Coupled with the old man's incitement, although the auction has been completely over by now, the atmosphere in the field is still rising. In this regard, Xiao Yan just smiled calmly, took the void thunder pool post from the old man, turned his eyes, looked at Mojai and others, did not hesitate, stepped forward. When he came near, Xiao Yang was able to see Mojai's gloomy face. In this slightly dark environment, he was almost integrated with the surrounding environment. He sneered in his heart. Xiao Yang didn't care about it. He saw this kind of person a lot. He looked at this face thousands of times. It's meaningless to do it twice this time. Haha, it's said that Master Mojai took my thunder post at the cost of 4 imperial pills and a roll of imperial pills. Tut, I have to say that Master Mojai is really a second-class herbalist. Compared with his financial resources, I'm still 100,000 miles away from you. Rock Owl, I'll leave those things to you for safekeeping. When the time comes, I'll get them back with interest. I'll make you go away with nothing. Hearing Xiao Yang's words that implied a bit of provocation, Mojai immediately snorted coldly, and his momentum did not lose the wind at all. Xiao Yang smiled, but then his face changed slightly. His eyes turned to Mu Han beside Mojai. At this time, the latter was staring at Xiao Yang with a cold face. Sen Han's eyes made the fighting spirit in his body stagnate a little. Mu Han took back his eyes and didn't bother to pay attention to Xiao Yang. When his eyes were out of sight and his heart was not bothered, he simply closed his eyes. Xiao Yang's relaxed figure with sweating forehead. Mu Hangua is worthy of being a 9-star and half emperor. Just a look in his eyes has made him so hard. Compared with Yang Bing, who is 1 star away, it's a world apart. Xiao Yang looked at Mojai again, but saw that the latter also showed a deep look of fear in his eyes when looking at Xiong Mu Han. Xiao Yang's eyes were frozen. After all, these people were not the same people. Even if they were on the same boat because of Mojai, they never put down their suspicion. Oh, Master Mojai, please. This is the void thunder pool post you took. The white palm stretched out in front of Mojai, and the empty thunder pool post was sandwiched between his fingers. Xiao Yang said in a flat tone. Mojai, who was carefully observing Mu Han, suddenly heard this, and his face changed instantly. Xiao Yang sneered. In front of him, Mojai was even more nervous about Mu Han than he was. Mojai, who had returned to his mind, stared at Xiao Yang. The coldness in his eyes was self-evident. Xiao Yang took it lightly. Mojai had never taken it to heart. Since I've taken the picture, I'm sure I won't go back. Why are you so anxious? Mojai's face was gloomy. A pair of dark eyes stared at Xiao Yang like a wolf. His voice was hoarse because of the anger in his heart. With a grin, Xiao Yang ignored Mojai's eyes and said with a light smile. I'm not an anxious person, and I know that Master Mojai won't do that kind of villain behavior that doesn't admit it. However, I'm also longing for Imperial Pill and Imperial Pill. I really yearn for it. If I can get it as soon as possible, the sooner the better. What a sharp mouth. Mojai was furious, with sparks in his eyes, and angrily scolded Xiao Yang. Take it. With a wave of big sleeve, Mojai grabbed Lei Tai in Xiao Yang's hand, and a streamer also blasted hard at Xiao Yang's face under the package of fighting spirit. Xiao Yang's eyes were slightly frozen when he saw this. The Mojai was really cruel. If he couldn't receive it well, the pills in the jade bottle would be destroyed. But fortunately, with Xiao Yang's current strength and the means of 3-star semi-emperor, he really didn't take it to heart. As soon as Xiao Yang stroked his big sleeve, his fighting spirit surged up, and his robe moved with the wind. As soon as he rolled his big sleeve, he involved the streamer from the fierce shooting into his robe. With the blessing of fighting spirit, the soft and fragile robe became extremely tough. When the fighting spirit wrapped in the jade bottle was consumed and destroyed, Xiao Yang's robe was still intact. This scene also made Mojai, who had seen it with his own eyes, feel inspiring. Unexpectedly, Xiao Yang's means would be so fierce. However, after Xiao Yang grasped the jade bottle into his hand, after exploration, it was found that there were indeed 4 imperial elixirs. Moreover, under Xiao Yang's exploration, the elixir he most wanted to see was also in it, which made Xiao Yang feel a little relieved. But then Xiao Yang turned his eyes to Mojai, looked cold and sneered. You're cruel enough. Didn't you just say to deposit these things with me for the time being, so you're not afraid to really destroy yourself? Hey, if it's really destroyed, it's just right to be thrown away by me. It's just a small thing. Mojai seemed indifferent and abnormal. He just wanted to try Xiao Yang's strength, but he didn't expect that he was really as terrible as the rumor, and his real strength was far beyond the surface cultivation. I don't care whether you care or not. You only handed over 4 imperial pills. Where's the pill? Mojai smiled coldly and said, Are you really stupid? The Void Thunder Pool post is not worth the price. It's the biggest concession to give you 4 imperial pills. Don't push an inch. Xiao Yang's eyes narrowed falsely. Mojai was really shameless. He wanted to deny what he said just now. But Xiao Yang didn't care about him either. He looked at Mojai with disdain, and a mocking smile came up at the corners of his mouth, saying, 4 imperial elixir pills and a roll of imperial elixir prescription, which you said yourself. Is it difficult? If you say it in public, you want to deny it in the twinkling of an eye. Mojai frowned. Although it was difficult to deal with, he still didn't give up and handed over Dan Fang. After all, it was something he had accumulated through his whole life. How could he give it to others in a moment? It seems that Master Mojai really doesn't hit the south wall and doesn't look back. In that case, let me publicize you to everyone here. Mojai. Xiao Yang's voice did not fall, but Mu Han on the side of Mojai opened his eyes fiercely. His eyes were sharp and irrefutable, staring at Mojai, and the overbearing tone was self-evident. In any case, the final use right of that Lei Tai is still in Mu Han's hands. He doesn't want to be scolded by villains. As for Mojai's pills and prescriptions, he naturally doesn't care about the gains and losses. He only cares about himself. While facing the Qianfu finger on Xiao Yang's side and the momentum oppression given by Mu Han, Mojai counseled the time in his heart. Reluctantly threw a volume of imperial product Danfang collected by himself to Xiao Yang. Mojai was depressed and stopped talking. He was just angry. Mu Han was obviously on his side. Why would he stand up to speak for Xiao Yang at this moment? When Xiao Yang in the auction house took over the volume of Emperor product Danfang from Mojai, 2 mysterious figures also left the auction house one after another. These 2 people are the black-robed man who competed with Mojai for Lei Tai at the auction and the old Hu monster who followed him. After leaving the auction house, the black-robed man hurriedly disappeared into a small alley. He walked briskly, as if he was avoiding something, but he kept a constant distance from the figure behind him, so that the latter would not lose him. Aware of this, Huleogay's eyebrows frowned immediately behind the black-robed man, but then, a clear smile appeared at the corners of his mouth. He moved and ran after him. In such a chase, the 2 figures kept a tacit distance of 10 feet, and the old monster who was not in a hurry. He kept tapping the ground with his toes, shooting his body, and followed closely. A moment later, Huleogay saw from a distance that there was a dead end at the end of the alley. Finally, a smile appeared on his plain face, and the 2 figures stopped step by step. Huleogay looked at the black-robed man 10 feet away from him with slightly narrowed eyes. A smile gradually appeared at the corners of his mouth. He put his arms around his chest and said with a smile, "Why don't you run?" The man in black shook his head when he heard the speech, and the hoarse voice came out slowly. "Lei Tai, you've got it. Why hold on to me?" When old Hu heard the speech, he couldn't help laughing. He raised a contemptuous arc at the corners of his mouth, looked at the black-robed man opposite with a sneer and said, "Why hide when you lead me here? Other people don't recognize you. Can I recognize you? You're a rock owl." As soon as he said this, the black-robed man's face immediately changed, and a surprise rose in his heart. Fortunately, with the cover of the black robe, Huleogay couldn't see the change of his face. You think highly of me too much. The rock owl is actually a 3-star and half emperor. At the moment, people are still in the auction house, and I am just a small 1-star and half emperor. How can I be a rock owl? The eyes under the black robe narrowed slowly into a thin line, and the hoarse voice of words came out again. The voice made people feel frightened. Split. The face under the black robe changed for a moment, and the eyebrows frowned tightly. A pair of Jiu Jing's eyes slowly raised and stared at the old Hu monster opposite. Separation. You are the separation of the rock owl. I have seen that separation once. Your strength is 1-star and a half emperor, and you didn't run after you noticed my tracking, but deliberately led me here. That shows that you are also curious about me. Why didn't I start at the moment you left the auction house? Huleogay stared at the black-robed man with a certain look on his face. He had determined that the black-robed man in front of him was absolutely Xiao Yan. Oh! This time, under the black robe, there was a clear light smile, which made the smile of old whose strange mouth gradually become rich. Unexpectedly, I'm still recognized when I'm dressed like this. I have to say that you really observe in detail. If it weren't for you, no one could guess that I'm also a rock owl. Xiao Yang under the black robe took off his hat and showed a beautiful face. Although he was recognized, he didn't look at a loss. Anyway, now that the auction is over, even if Mo Zhai knows that he is a rock owl, it is too late. In addition, there is no evidence to prove that the black-robed man appearing at the venue is Xiao Yang, so they have no choice but to Xiao Yang. Moreover, in the auction house at this time, Xiao Yang is accompanying Mo Zhai. Everyone in the field can testify. How can Mo Zhai help Xiao Yang? Oh, sure enough. Although he already knew the answer in his heart, when Xiao Yang appeared, Huleogay couldn't bear to laugh and say. Xiao Yang also smiled faintly when he heard the speech. Without much nonsense, he went straight to the subject and said, "Tell me, why didn't you do it when you were so far away from me? They asked you to follow me out. It's impossible to have no purpose." Huleogay smiled at the corners of his mouth and stared at Xiao Yang, but he answered the question with a soft smile. "Do you know why Yang Bing and Mu Han want to fight you?" Xiao Yang raised his eyebrows and smiled quietly at the corners of his mouth. He looked at Huleogay with a slightly surprised look and said, "Isn't it because of Mo Zhai?" The latter sneered and said, "Yes and no." Xiao Yang's eyes narrowed. Although he had some guesses about this problem, he still wanted to hear the most accurate answer. "When Yang Bing faced you, although the killing intention in his eyes was not as strong as Mu Han, I also believe that you can see it. The reason why he helped Mo Zhai deal with you was because you killed 2 of his capable men. As far as I know, those 2 people died and didn't even leave their bodies." Huleogay's voice fell, and Xiao Yang's eyes suddenly coagulated, and his heart also knew it. The words all talked about this degree. How could he not know yet? Are Fang Zun and Wang Qi? Huleogay smiled and stared at Xiao Yang with his shining old eyes. The meaning of his eyes was self-evident. Seeing the look in the eyes of old Hu, Xiao Yang nodded thoughtfully, then seemed to think of something, raised his eyes, looked at the old Hu opposite, and said in surprise, "The reason why Mu Han shot at me was the array of mags I killed that day. Wu Mohui, Mu Han's only disciple and his favorite disciple, died in your hand. Naturally, he can't let you go." As soon as Xiao Yang's voice fell, the words in Huleogay's mouth then spit out, which made Xiao Yang suddenly open at once, and the doubts in his heart were solved at the moment. But as these problems were solved, a new question arose in Xiao Yang's heart at this time. "But why did you tell me this? You and I are not in the same camp. Don't tell me that you betrayed Mo Zhai and want to help me in turn." Xiao Yang stared at Huleogay with cold eyes. "Ha ha. It's true. People die for money and birds die for food. I don't want to be the wronged leader." Xiao Yang sneered and said, "You take people's money to eliminate disasters for others. Whoever dares to kill you depends on Mo Zhai." Huleogay shook his head with disdain. He really didn't care about Mo Zhai. Among them, the only thing that could make him seriously face was not Yang Bing, but Mu Han. He doesn't dare, but Mu Han will. Mo Zhai, this fool, he provoked Mu Han, the king of hell, and he will pay a price sooner or later. Huleogay's eyes narrowed, as if he had seen the death of Mo Zhai. The greedy snake swallows the elephant. If you want to get something, you have to fight for it yourself. Blindly relying on outsiders will only lead you into the abyss. This is the case with Mosey at present. He wants to get rid of you by Mu Han's hand, so as to get the strange fire in your body. But he forgot that Mu Han is a 9-star and half emperor. Wu Mohui's death was planned by him. How can Mu Han let him go? I'm afraid in the end, he will be the first to die, and Mu Han's black heart will certainly swallow us one by one." Huleogay said with a gloomy face, and his words were full of disdain for Mo Zhai and others, but when he mentioned Mu Han, his face would also involuntarily show a look of fear. Xiao Yang sneered. Although these people came together to deal with Xiao Yang, they didn't trust each other. Although such a team looks very strong on the surface, it has already disintegrated in fact. Outside the Tianyun auction house, in a deserted alley, 2 figures stood facing each other. "Oh, since you can't believe Mu Han, just shake hands and leave, why come to me?" After hearing Huleogay's words, Xiao Yang still couldn't help sneering, and his tone was full of ridicule. Hey, as I said just now, I came to help Mo Zhai for money because he could afford to pay before. Now the situation has changed. Naturally, I can't lose too much, Huleogay looked at Xiao Yang with both eyes, and a wicked smile appeared on his face. It looked like a villain's posture. Xiao Yang nodded slightly, his eyes narrowed, and he didn't dare to underestimate the old Hu monster in front of him. It's not easy to cultivate 8 stars and a half emperors, but Huleogay can still be so careful. It's not difficult to see that he may not be worse than Mu Han in the future. In the narrow alley, 2 figures looked at each other. After a long time, they all burst out a burst of laughter. After the laughter, Xiao Yang quickly recovered his face and said with a smile, "You want to change your boss, which is naturally no problem." In a word, Huleogay seemed calmer. He knew Xiao Yang had something to say later. Xiao Yang also smiled with tacit understanding. He raised his eyes and stared at old Hu. Then he continued, "But the question is, how can I trust you? With what you just said to me, it's only in my expectation. If you want me to believe you, you must come up with enough to convince me." Hearing this, Huleogay chuckled and stared at Xiao Yang, saying, "If you say something substantial, I can't take it out. What I can tell you is that in addition to the 4 of us you saw this time, there is a 7-star and a half emperor in Muzhuang." Xiao Yang frowned when he heard the speech. He didn't expect that these guys had left a hand in order to deal with themselves. Although they were not 8-star and a half emperors, they were also figures enough to subvert the whole war situation. Xiao Yang couldn't ignore them. So Xiao Yang can only hope that the strength of the 7-star and half emperor is not what he imagined. It seems that he has penetrated Xiao Yang's mind. Before Xiao Yang's face changes, Huleogay grinned and buttoned his head with a basin of cold water. The 7-star and half emperor is the peak strength in the later stage. Breaking through the 8-star and half emperor is just a foot in the door. As long as he enters the void minefield, he will break through the 8 stars. And then, you will face more than the 3 of us. Xiao Yang nodded solemnly. He didn't need to be reminded by Huleogay. He also knew that once the other party added another 8-star and a half emperor, this terrible reinforcement would play an overwhelming role in the war situation. What's more, there is Yang Bing, who is also the peak of the 8-star and half emperor. Once the 2 break through, even if Xiao Yang breaks through to the 4-star and half emperor, plus his means, he can never be their opponent. Huleogay's reminder made Xiao Yang predict the overall strength of Mo Zhai in advance, which also made him make some preparations before entering the Thunder Pool. Only by knowing himself and the enemy can he be invincible in 100 battles. If Huleogay didn't say this today, Xiao Yang really thought that the other party had only 3 high-level and half-emperors. Once this was the case, when the Thunder Pool opened, Mo Zhai and others would be caught off guard, which would make Xiao Yang fall into the disadvantage. Therefore, Huleogay's words, for Xiao Yang at this time, are undoubtedly called helping the poor and solving the danger. Having said so much, let's talk about your conditions. Xiao Yun took back his mind and looked at old Hu again. He wouldn't believe that the guy in front of him would disclose the news to him for nothing. Old Monster Hu grinned and wiped his scarlet tongue across his lips. Then he raised his eyes and said slowly, "You're really straightforward. It's much easier than Namo Zhai. I won't say more. 4 imperial pills. I promise I won't do it at that time." As soon as he said this, Xiao Yang immediately frowned, his eyes narrowed slightly into a thin line, and a pair of fierce eyes stared at Huleogay, but the latter had nothing to do with it. "You really want to be this yellow finch?" Xiao Yang said indifferently. Huleogay sneered, stared fearlessly at Xiao Yang and sneered. "Hee. It's just something outside your body. Why do you care so much? With your current financial resources, you don't need these. Besides, if I do it at that time, you can't even protect your life. What can you do with these pills? 4 imperial pills for 1 life, which is very worthwhile." Xiao Yang stared at the old monster who sneered and stretched out his palm. He shook it in the void in front of him, and the light flashed. A jade bottle appeared in Xiao Yang's palm. This is exactly the jade bottle that Xiao Yang threw to the old man at the auction, which contains 4 imperial pills. Seeing this, old Hu's eyes lit up slightly, and greedy eyes burst out of his eyes. "Oh, I'm afraid the reward Mo Zhai promised you is only half of the 4 imperial pills you asked me for. You're really a lion." As soon as Xiao Yang said this, Huleogay's face suddenly changed, but before he could speak, Xiao Yang immediately said, "4 imperial pills are enough for me to find 2 high-level and half-emperors outside to escort me, and they must be the kind of people who will try their best to protect me. So why do you think you want 4 imperial pills?" Huleogay's face changes. Xiao Yang is right. 4 imperial pills can really invite 2 high-level and half-emperors outside, but if Xiao Yang gives only 2 imperial pills, he will be a little unwilling in his heart. Huleogay's face was uncertain, and his locked eyebrows continued to stretch and wrinkle until after the good film was carved. He sighed helplessly, frowned and looked at Xiao Yang and said, Three imperial pills, this is my only concession. If you still don't want to, we won't talk about this business. Yes, I can give you 3 imperial pills, but you have to promise me one thing. As soon as the voice in whose mouth fell, Xiao Yang's words immediately vomited out, which made whose face frown again. Xiao Yang ignored it and paused for 2 seconds, then continued to say, I can't give you 3 imperial pills for nothing on the basis of these news that I will know sooner or later. Therefore, I want you to fight for me once during the war between the 2 sides. If you don't want to, then this business is over. In the big deal, you can't get anything at that time. This time, Huleogay lowered his head and looked a little gloomy. Boy, are you threatening me? I'm just asking. Xiao Yang looked at Huleogay with a plain face. His eyes were spotless and could not see any flaws. They were calm and looked at each other. No one spoke first. For a time, their surroundings became silent, but on their foreheads, they were unconscious and had been covered with dense beads of sweat. If the one who can't hold his breath first, he will lose the battle first, and the result will be determined by the other party. Virtually, their heartbeat became faster and faster with the passage of time. The violent heartbeat could be heard clearly within 10 steps. The surrounding atmosphere gradually became heavy under such circumstances. Tick. Bean-sized beads of sweat fell on a stone between whose feet. More sweat flowed down the dense folds on the old face, and another drop of sweat fell. Xiao Yang, the same situation is happening. Well, since you don't want to, I won't force it, but what you said to me today, I think it's a very good reason. Once you fight against each other, I will break myself when I think of it, which will reduce a lot of trouble for me. Taking back his eyes, Xiao Yang seemed to give up decisively. He was too lazy to pay attention to old Hu. As soon as he turned around, he wanted to leave. Seeing this, old monster Hu suddenly changed his look. Unexpectedly, Xiao Yang was so cruel. If he failed to cooperate, he wanted to harm him. Then he thought of Mu Han's ruthlessness. Look at Xiao Yang and the 3 imperial pills in front of him. Old monster Hu finally softened his attitude. I promise you. When it's necessary, I'll do it, but only once. After the thunder pool comes out, you and I don't owe each other. Good. Before Huleogay's voice fell, Xiao Yang turned around and looked at Huleogay with a smile. The latter could only sigh helplessly. He wanted to take the opportunity to make a profit, but he didn't expect that he would eventually be pulled aboard by Xiao Yanqiang. Seeing Xiao Yang's successful smile, Huleogay also sneered in his heart. Even without me, the 9-star and half-emperor can't win by relying on the number of people alone. Hehe, whether you can deal with it will be known at that time. I just hope that if you really come to that time, you don't want to turn back, otherwise, I will make you die ugly. Believe me. Xiao Yang smiled lightly and stared at Huleogay tightly. Strange fire suddenly appeared in the depths of his pupils. The threat in his words was irrefutable. Huleogay was also surprised when he saw it. Listening to his tone, he didn't seem to be lying. With Xiao Yang's reputation abroad, Huleogay also determined that Xiao Yang didn't lie to him. With this in mind, Huleogay was surprised. He had a cold feeling at the bottom of his heart. With the end of the auction, all parties left one after another. After chatting with Luo Jin for a long time, Xiao Yang left the auction house alone and returned to the Medicine Refining Association. Now Xiao Yang is the chief herbalist of the Herbalist Guild and the champion of the Herbalist Conference. Although he is called the Guild, he has only been here 3 or 4 times. Even those few times, he entered without the knowledge of outsiders. Therefore, now Xiao Yang strides slowly from the main gate of the guild, which has alerted many other herbalists in the guild for a time. Although these people have seen Xiao Yang, most of them have only seen it from a distance and can't really see it. At the moment, Xiao Yang walks so close in the guild, and many people come quickly after hearing the news. When people saw Xiao Yang, the famous second-order herbalist in today's wild ancient city, they couldn't help but be surprised at Xiao Yang's youth. At such an age, he not only cultivated the medicine refining technique to such a level, but also did not lose in the field of fighting qi. This terrible growth rate made some semi-imperial strongmen and medicine refiners of the older generation feel inferior. In a short moment, Xiao Yang's body was full of people. Many young generation herbalists scrambled to shake hands with Xiao Yang or ask some questions about medicine refining. Of course, in Xiao Yang's opinion, those questions were just pediatrics. A brief answer stunned all the young people, because those questions were not put forward by themselves, but a question that their teachers were worried about recently. Unexpectedly, they were solved 2 or 3 times in Xiao Yang's mouth. This really surprised them, and a sense of worship for Xiao Yang suddenly rose in their hearts. Therefore, in a short moment, Xiao Yang's body was surrounded by people who came to ask questions. Although most of these people are the younger generation of the Medicine Refiner Guild, there are also some functional elders in the guild. Although their appearance is quite unexpected, it has not affected the hot atmosphere at the scene. For those guild elders who appeared around him, Xiao Yang was quite surprised. Unexpectedly, even they participated in the hot army. In the face of their questions, Xiao Yang was not stingy, but at the same time, he also found that the questions of these guys in front of him were endless. Xiao Yang was helpless immediately. If he continued to answer like this, I'm afraid he couldn't answer them for another 10 years. He had no choice but to smile bitterly in his heart. Xiao Yang had to say a few words in a hurry. At his feet, Tianju's step was displayed in an instant. When the wind and clouds surged, Xiao Yang turned into a breeze and disappeared in front of everyone. When they saw Xiao Yang's departure, they felt a little melancholy, but they didn't complain. After all, those problems should be solved by themselves. They blindly asked for help, but they belittled themselves too much. What's more, Xiao Yang himself has something important to do, and he can't spend it with them. Therefore, in a burst of helpless sigh, they scattered and left. A moment later, Xiao Yang appeared in front of a living room. The door of the living room was wide open. Xiao Yang saw Jiyu Li and Kai Lin who were discussing some things in it from a distance. When they saw Xiao Yang, they looked at each other and smiled, but then they noticed Xiao Yang's strange face and frowned slightly. When they came near, Xiao Yang also noticed the look on their faces. He couldn't help sighing and said, "Hee hee. The people of the guild are really enthusiastic. I almost can't see you 2 old men." Hearing the speech, they smiled softly, and immediately understood the meaning of Xiao Yang's words, but then Jiyu Li looked at Xiao Yang with a positive face and said, "I heard something happened at the auction. Even Mu Han's guys went, and they still represent Mo Zhai?" Xiao Yang nodded and said, "Yes, it's the helper invited by Mo Zhai, the 9-star and half-emperor, but fortunately, the matter has been solved and no major event has happened." Jiyu Li and Li stopped asking about what happened at the auction, but Mu Han shocked the 2 8-star and a half-emperors. Mu Han, does he really want to represent Mo Zhai? He's a giant in a wild ancient city. He'll even have a fellow like Mo Zhai? Kai Lin frowned and said, obviously surprised at this. It's true that people die for money and birds die for food, but with Mu Han's vision, can't Mo Zhai take what moves him? Jiyu Li and Kai Lin looked at each other, took over the words and continued. Hearing their words, Xiao Yang closed his eyes, smiled and shook his head. Then he looked at them and said, "At first I thought it was Mo Zhai who promised him what conditions, so Mu Han would make a move, but today Huleogay told me the reason." As soon as Xiao Yang said this, Jiyu Li and Kai Lin immediately frowned. They all looked at Xiao Yang with suspicious eyes. Is old Hu strange? That guy is the 8-star and a half-emperor that Mo Zhai paid a high price to invite. How could he reveal the news of Mo Zhai to Xiao Yang? Is there any fraud? Xiao Yang frowned and shook his head. His eyes showed an uncertain look and hesitated a little. Then he said, "First, whether it's true or false, everything he said to me today is reasonable. Whether it's Yang Bing or Mu Han, the reason why they shot at me is also among them." In the following time, Xiao Yang told Jiyu Li and Wang Qi, Wu Mohui and the information told by Huleogay in that alley. Hearing this, the second old man was shocked. Only then did he know that something even they didn't know had happened during Xiao Yang's time in the wild ancient city. When they heard that those people were encouraged or solicited by Mo Zhai, they couldn't help feeling a burst of surprise at Mo Zhai's cruelty. This Mo Zhai is really trying to achieve his goal by all means. At this time, they really want to break Mo Zhai into pieces and frustrate his bones and ashes. Such a scum of a herbalist, why should he stay in the world for a long time? Red Phosphorus shouted angrily, his palms under his sleeves and robes were clenched together, and his green tendons were exposed. Compared with Red Phosphorus, Jiyu Li is much more stable. He has a long-term vision. At the moment, the first thing he thinks about is the empty minefield. Rock Owl, once we enter the void minefield, what we have to face is the 9-star and half-emperor. Once Yang Bing and the 7-star and half-emperor break through, the overall strength of Mo Zhai will be greatly improved. At that time, we really don't even have a chance to fight back. Xiao Yang nods, which is also his biggest concern at the moment. Once Yang Bing breaks through, He doesn't need the 7-star and half emperor to make a move. It's enough to crush them with 2 9-star and half emperors. What should we do? Is it difficult? We can only give up this opportunity to enter the void minefield. If so, we will have to wait 100 years to enter the minefield next time. In the eyes of the real strong, even 100 years and 1,000 years are just a blink of an eye, but Jiu Li and Kai Lin can't see it as nothing. No, we must go in the void thunder pool, but we can't wait to die at that time. We have to start first. While they have just entered and have not broken through, there is only 1 9-star and half emperor. We will try our best to solve the 7-star and half emperor first. As for Yang Bing, let's leave it to old Hu. Hearing Xiao Yang's words, Jiu Li was a little surprised. Xiao Yang usually didn't look very good. He didn't expect to do things so vigorously. Well, yes, in this way, there are 5 people on the side of Morjai. Morjai is not the climate. Old Hu monster turns back and drags Yang Bing, and then solves the 7-star and half emperor. 4 are removed at one time, leaving only Mu Han, a 9-star and half emperor. Jiu Li smiled and nodded, then Xiao Yang's words continued to analyze. Red Phosphorus couldn't help nodding when he heard the speech. Indeed, it was their best time when they just entered the void minefield. As for Huleogay, although both of them have good ideas about him, since Xiao Yang chose to trust him, they can only reluctantly accept it. They believe that with Xiao Yang's eyesight, it can be judged whether it is true or false. Then the rest of Mu Han will be dealt with by our 2 brothers. Although he is not his opponent, he should be able to delay if he wants to delay. After all, even if he is a 9-star and half emperor, he can't really pinch the 8-star and half emperor as mud. Hearing the speech, Xiao Yang nodded, then arched his hands at Jiu Li and said respectfully, "So, thank you for your help." In the face of Xiao Yang's thanks, Jiu Li and Li also smiled and waved their hands. Xiao Yang saved their medicine refining guild. Now he just helped him stop one person. Although he is a 9-star and half emperor, it's no big deal. This video will end here.